Hello, and thank you so much for taking the time out to listen. Today, I titled this message, They Are Just Doing Their Job. They are just doing their job. You have gone to the store. You have taken care of your personal business at the bank. You have been that individual that just gets around, shopping the community. And there are those times, unfortunately, where people just tend to get on your last nerve, right? They stand in the line and maybe they're having an annoying conversation with one another. They are taking up the aisle space when you're grocery shopping. Move your cart, will you? There are those sales clerks, sales associates, team leaders, managers, supervisors, business owners, investors, you name it. And they are part of these organizations, these groups, establishments. And ultimately, what are they doing? They're just doing their job. They're just doing their job. And sometimes we don't like what their responsibilities are, especially if it involves us having to dig in our pockets to give them money. What? What did you say? How much? Wait a minute. Hold up. I'm just doing my job. I know some sales clerks, some team leads and what have you. They just want to say that to some people. I'm just doing my job. Listen, if it were any different, I would hook you up. I would help you out. I would give you the discount. I would give you the buy one, get one. But that's over. It's expired. I'm sorry. Lo siento. And some individuals, go get your manager. Oh, goodness. Now, this is where there's the division. This is where the attitude creeps up between the one who is out there in the field and the one who is in headquarters or somewhere else around the world. Are we going to abide by the handbook, or are you just going to help people to make them feel good and to make you look good? I mean, because if that was the case, I could have done it on my level. I could have went on and gave them what they wanted. You see? And that burns some folks up. I know over the years it has burned me up. So we're not a cohesive unit. We are not unified in any sort of way. A person can just say, let me speak to the manager, and they get what they want. Oh, okay. It's very disappointing, isn't it? It's very disappointing to know that those sorts of leaders are out here. And that's why there is, in some cases, high turnover. Those folks don't follow the handbook. Those folks aren't proactive, or they're avoiding conflict, or they don't want to work with the customer at all. And the reviews are out there. Lots and lots of reviews. And sometimes people, they're writing reviews simply because they're spoiled, because they are used to getting their way, because that particular time the manager wasn't going to hook them up. Uh-oh. People will have their moments, won't they, if you're in customer service? And their moments can be so taxing mentally, physically. Some folks have just walked off jobs. It's just too much. I can't deal with it. Okay? And when a person has reached that point where they can't take it any longer, and they go off one day, A lot of times there was so much that led up to them going off. There was so much that got them to that point where they screamed, they yelled, they dropped keys, they ran out the door. And for some of you on the outside looking in, you don't get that. You don't understand that, because all you want is what you want, when you want it, how you want it. That person was just doing their job day in and day out, and they didn't have the support. There's been plenty of times that I've gone into businesses on a weekend and they were short-staffed. They were short-staffed. It's one person running the whole front office, front desk, front register. There's only one person in the back. But yet we got these entitled, privileged, self-righteous individuals who expect service should be up to par. It should be on point. With one person, please. You're lucky that you even got in the door. I know that this message doesn't go over too well with some people, and that's not my issue. But I'm telling you that in the quiet of the day, the Lord spoke to me and he said, these people are just doing their job. And that us believers, we can make life a little bit easier for some people by not acting like the worldly, and by being more kind, considerate, patient, understanding, even being like those folks that were over there at the Waffle House. It was a media story where there was just one person working that night. Some folks had called off, and the people who were dining there helped out, cleaned the kitchen, washed the dishes. There has been times where I've worked jobs and people saw that I was the only person, and they helped out, started serving food, cleaning up, serving drinks. There's been times where folks had answered the phone, greeted a person at the door. I don't know what it is about me lately with jobs where I'm at times the only person doing everything. Lord Jesus, they're just doing their job. I had to be reminded when service wasn't so great and the people were doing everything to help me. And the Lord said, just sit down, relax, go back out into the lobby, look at a magazine. They looked around, they said, I thought you left after we told you, that we were so slammed. And I said, no, you still are helping me. At least that's what you told me. Yeah, we're doing the best we can. Well, I'm not in a rush. I got time. We need more people who are understanding in this world, because that person is paying bills, got a family. And if people would follow rules, if people would pay on time and not let things get out of hand, or know that sometimes things come up, but don't expect too much rule breaking and favors and all this other stuff, these jobs wouldn't be so stressful. But a lot of times these jobs are so stressful because people are not understanding. They're not compassionate. They're very selfish, self-entitled, and they want things their way. Rules are there for good reason. So this is just one of those messages to remind some people. God, he reminded me. And I'm telling you, when you listen to the Lord and you do what's right, and when the opportunity comes to help out, there are blessings that come, Lord Jesus. I thank you as always for taking time out of your busy schedule to listen. You've been listening to YouTube, NM Enterprise 7. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment.